If your music is fire and you don't have the numbers you like, are you search engine optimized? DM me, serious inquiries only, Cash App ready, and I will help you with that. Heritage Hip Hop is on the road to 5,000 subscribers for 2026. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe tonight as you watch the video. Also, check out heritagehiphop.com for more and the tab for our merch. Visit our T Public store for more. And now let's get to the show. Hey, welcome back to Heritage Hip Hop Podcast, brought to you by Heritage Hip Hop. I am host Karev. Heritage Hip Hop is more than music. We introduce you to your future favorite artists today while celebrating hip hop culture from its foundation to now. So, as we get to start the show, I got to tell y'all a couple things before we get started. Number one, hit the like button. Please hit the like button and comment, because the comments help the algorithm see that we are live, we are here, and we're here for you. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you join us and join in the conversation, because this is going to be a good one. All right. Today we have an international sensation. Let me tell you why. Because when you get to share microphones with people who respect you, not only are you cemented in knowing that you are nice in what you do, respect helps carry your career. This gentleman has done songs with Tragedy Gaddafi, one of the greats, Boot Camp Click, great collective, rusteejuxx, shout out to rusteejuxx, has done a song with one of my favorite personal MCs, Skyzoo, and he's a brother, and you'll find out about that, with Planet Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, I like to introduce you to the Asiatic man who not only cooks on the mic, but he has something to say. Ladies and gentlemen, Omen44. What's going on, man?
Yes, sir. Peace. Thank you for having me on.
It's a pleasure, man. Let's let everybody know he's talking behind the scenes. This gentleman appeared on Heritage Hip Hop 5 years ago.
Whoa. Yes.
2021. You know what I'm saying? We put some years up in here. And with Bumpy Knuckles coming back and Omen44 coming back, that just goes to show you that Heritage Hip Hop is a legacy platform. Not let's just see who I can talk to and have them conversation about things that people don't really care about. We care about you and we care about these artists. So let's get started. You know what I'm saying? Omen, how you been for 5 years? What's up?
Doing great, bro. Yes, sir. Thank you.
How has your journey through hip hop progressed within the 5 years from 2021 to now?
2021 to now. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. A lot. I dropped how many albums in between even? That was 20. Whoa. So, whoa, time goes back by really quick.
Yeah,
whoa,
man.
5 years. Yeah, I was kind of resting for this couple of years. The last major move I actually made was 2 years ago, last summer, when I went to Japan tour, and with Shadow the Great from Loaf Music and Chelsea Reject, and rest in peace, Chelsea Reject. She passed away last year, and
Wow.
yeah, a lot of things have been happening. Definitely.
Yeah, that's tough. I didn't know Chelsea Reject passed away.
Nah,
That's the piece of Chelsea Reject.
Yeah, she was 29, 30. She was still very young.
Damn. Yeah. I'm looking at her now. Wow, that's crazy. So we're gonna say rest in peace to Chelsea Reject. But I want to ask you some questions about hip hop, since you have been busy and you see how the culture has shifted, especially in America. We're talking about 5 years, we're talking about a whole presidency ago. See how the country's changed, see how the dynamic of music has changed, see how the industry has changed. Let me ask you, since you are well-traveled, do you think hip hop has the same power it once had, being that you are an artist in the industry and you're living through the change?
So wait, is that question that you feel like it diminished, or?
I want to know what you think.
I kind of wanted to know your perspective though, before going in, like, you know, I'll be totally honest too, but.
Okay. From a mainstream point of view, I think hip hop is trash. I think that, well, first of all, let me not say that. I think from a mainstream point of view, we're getting the breakdown of how rap has suffered, but hip hop culture has not. I think as long as there's people with voices who have a chance to speak their truth, hip hop will be alive. But in the mainstream, with hip hop not charting, with the lack of superstars and the lack of a push, I think hip hop or rap, the rap side of hip hop has fallen on hard times, and now even the production has, because now people are not making money, so they're not really trying to push and find stars and push good music to the forefront. Now, what do you think?
Wow, that's a good point. I mean, you know, yeah, even within this 5 years, like streaming became main thing. Like we still had, like 5 years ago, we still had SoundCloud, DatPiff, and all that. That's all gone. They don't even download really. So, um, you're right. It's totally conquered by streaming, and like they don't even how many cents was it for one play even?
It
It's
depends
quite
on
bad.
what platform. You
And
got an echo somewhere. Is that your side?
hold on.
You got headphones?
Is it still echoing?
No,
No? Okay.
no.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, streaming has become the double-edged sword of all music, not just
Mhm.
hip hop, because now you have some people who will not spend $10 for one album, but they will
Mhm.
spend $10 a month for access to a music library. You see
Mhm.
what I'm saying? And I'll give credit to artists like you and so many others, because you have to be brave to put money out to do music. I've been trying to put out an album for years. Let me keep it real. I'm not rapping though, but I want to put other artists on to represent heritage hip hop, and just to buy beats and to get people to record, and then not to have them not give me half-ass throwaway verses, and then I try to put that out, and that's going to represent my brand, and it's a lot. And you're representing yourself, putting out new music, and with the industry being torn asunder the way it has been, I wanted
Mhm.
to ask you, do you feel like the music is making the same wave of importance in the society the way it did before?
Yeah, like yeah, the first question, yes, did music like it like hip hop itself became too big. If you go to Japan, there's Japanese hip hop, there's Japanese boom bap, there's Japanese trap. Now there's Japanese uh, s- um, what was that? Like there's
Drill,
UK garage to
that drill,
drill,
grunge.
everything. Yes. So like, yeah, like I think like right now hip hop is in a different phase now. We're trying to figure we're actually going back, I get the feeling. Like in the 80s or something when people didn't know what hip hop was. That was the era when people were creating, and like and they were just mixing all kinds of samples that came from all genres of music, like rock or soul or whatever that was. And I get the feeling it's going back there in a very odd way. So yes, the mainstream is, I hate to say this, but it you know, I totally understand that concept of dumb down even, you know, with me like doing this close to 20 years. I myself evolved you know, and I consider myself evolution in a way because yes, there was time when I came in, I was using these, more. I was putting in more metaphors. I was using these, some kind of weird word, like uh, what is it like? Something like quintessential or something like that, right? Like so existentialism, like, something right? Like trying to be lyrical and like outsmart somebody or something. and then you go through certain levels, like you complicate your rhyme scheme. Yeah, you're squashing in all these words, then you disperse that again, and like you kind of you go back and forth with all that stuff, even with your own wordplay. And at this point, like, I'm trying to make it simple as possible, but trying to give that depth as possible with simple words that I can use. That's where I came to. That's like Bob Marley to me, like um it's not like trying to be technical or trying to outsmart or something like that, but giving that depth to it, giving that spirituality to it, giving that philosophy behind it. And this whole theme with this new album that I'm coming up on Labor Day, September 7th, with the US, us. This yes, the song that you were just mentioning about, the games people play. Yes, that's the first album of the song that's going to be on the album, but you know, it took me back. It took me back to Last Poets. It took me back to Gil Scott Heron, Public Enemy. Like fight the power. Like fight, getting back to that real conscious things. So yes, I you're right. If you're talking about how this whole, I mean, dumbed, that's a, when you talk about dumbed down, that's a funny thing, because there I found this strange YouTube documentary. It was a documentary from the 70s or early 80s or something. It was Last Poets dissing LL Cool J because he sold out.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was. It was very interesting to me. Like
why?
so.
What made it? What did it teach you? What did you get from it?
So I mean, that's been going on. I mean, we will come up to our kids and just say, "Yo, you better learn something. You better, you better step up with your knowledge or whatever." So I mean, and I guess it kept on repeating and repeating, and but at the same time, hip hop became too big. It became too big, and now everything is hip hop in a very odd way too. Like there will be just people that's rapping, not knowing anything really, but they still want to claim hip hop or something, right?
Okay.
So like the whole perspective, the word hip hop, even that became so broad that even with me, I am hip hop. I mean, I grew up with this. This was the only thing I really knew, and that's what I kept on doing. But if people ask me, I don't want to tell them I'm hip hop even. And at the same time, it's something to me very precious, and it's I feel like you know even when I use that word, I feel like, oh wait, can I really say that? I, shouldn't I be a little bit more humble about it with the culture and everything? So
Okay,
like,
wait. Let's slow down a little bit because we're going
okay,
all
sorry.
over the place. Let's focus this. All right. So let's bring it into focus. Hip hop has gotten big, right? Hip hop is in every region, every part of the world, right? In America, though, hip hop has been broken up and gone back into regions when it used to be universal. Now there's a return to the East Coast, the South, the West, the Midwest. People are now paying homage to where they come from because now every region has a history. I want to ask you, because you're well traveled, international, every domestic and everything. Do we see, since you brought up Japan, Do you see Japanese? You said Japanese boom bap, Japanese drill, Japanese grunge, all that, right?
Mhm.
Trap. Because that's there, do we have international culture still looking for American culture to be a guide, or is international culture picking up on its own humble beginnings and building off of that?
Since you mentioned that, I feel like that too. Japan has its own way of evolved in its own territory, and it evolved in a very Japan. They still have those freestyle battles, and that's still big, and that's more of the core of Japanese hip hop. I feel like it's you know over here it was more of a like there's periods like that, like when Eminem came out. There was periods like that when um, Quake G came out. There was time periods like that when Jin came out. Um, Recently, like with Math Hoffenden, that
Okay.
was. But even with that same freestyle battle, it changed. They this last era they had with that battle rap, that was with Matt Hoff. Like they had these battles that they knew who their enemy, like they knew who they were fighting against, and they would just do all these researches and then go get there and like rap battle for 30 minutes or something, right? So but in Japan, they still have those 16 bars session that you go back and forth. I still feel like that's a big thing out there in Japan. And like that's more like the foundation out there. That it's very this is a very odd thing to say, but that's what I see really. But now I people have changed too.
Yeah,
These
society has
kids,
changed. Yes.
the whole generation has changed too. And
Yeah.
like these are kids that grew up with YouTube. They had that from the beginning. These are kids that grew up with I mean, app phones from the beginning. So, like, but at the same time, there's these weird phenomenon that's going on that people are going back to vinyls and stuff too.
Traditionalism is coming back.
Exactly.
So let me ask you this. Hip hop was derived from pain and not being a voice being heard. Now voices are being heard everywhere to the point where is the world really getting bigger, or through technology the world is getting smaller? You see what I'm saying? What do you think?
That's something I do kind of worry with this AI and chat GPT or whatever. We actually have the answer there all the time. And, you know, I want my daughter's children to think, and go through pain, go through problems to solve it. That's the only way you can really grow. And
Yeah, and that's the nature of humanity, overcoming
exactly.
persevering, going
Yes,
through the motions
perseverance.
and growing, right?
Yes,
I was
exactly.
telling somebody, you know what? I was telling somebody the other day. She, one of my good friends, she told me she has a son, and her son got his first heartbreak. And I said, "That's good.
Yeah.
Celebrate that." And she's like, "No, that's my baby, and he shouldn't be going through that." And I'm like, "No, you got to understand, you're raising a man. A man does not grow until he feels pain. You have to
Right.
have your heart broken. You have to have a fight. You have
Over
to
and
get
over.
sick. You have to
Over
get
and
broke,
over.
because that is what's going to build your character. So if a man doesn't go through persevere through pain or the struggle, then he's not going to realize his full potential. And that's what I wanted to ask you about, because it seems like you have overcome so many odds to be heard. International artist, you were adopted into Black culture, and you found your place and made a great niche for yourself, to the point where I want to know, as an international artist who's made it to a place of respectability, is there a burden for you, or is that another notch under your belt and now you're taking it somewhere else?
Whoa. No, I do take it as a burden, but I take it as a good burden, like, I mean, look at Jesus Christ. He carried the cross all the way through to his death, and that's what we need in this era, like, people don't take responsibilities. You see this president that doesn't take any responsibility towards his words, not even one. Like, imagine what word is bond means to this man. There is no such thing. So yes, with our kids, even with that part that you were telling me about, carrying that hurt, that's a burden. You're going to carry that all the way through. But that's the beauty of life. That's why you learn. You have to go through that pain. I mean, the 5%ers say, love. Love is hell or right, meaning you have to go hell just to get it. So I feel that way too. And love is supreme understanding. Beyond that, you come to understanding. That's the knowledge of self.
Well, that's what the Bible says. The Bible says, in all things, get understanding, because understanding will lead you to your levels. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast with Omen44, international hip hop artist who has rapped with some of your favorite artists and their favorite artists as well. So let's go back to what you were saying about carrying that burden. What is the best thing about being an international artist, and what is the worst thing?
Worst thing is, well, I'm still struggling out here trying to make my mark. And as a minority, with this song that I just came out, the games people play, and this album that I was able to make, I finally feel like I came to where I belong to, and where my respect started even. And me as an Asian American, I felt like it was only right for me. It was my time. I thought this was my call, totally. With Black Americans in general, they don't even trust politics from the beginning. That's how bad they got it for 300 years. And like, yes, and me as being an Asian American, and like representing that voice of a minority, and at the same time, the exact immigrants that they're hating, I thought this was my call. And this is where I can use my knowledge too, that I cultivated for years, 20 years. And now I'm putting it all into it. I'm talking about exactly the stuff you were telling me about. The kids need to go through pain. These kids are totally, abused by these social medias. Lies spread 6 times faster than regular information.
Facts.
And these billionaires social media tycoons. They just want to, they're only profit driven. So they don't care. They want to spread all that hate on online, you know. And if if the world is in a mess, we have to correct this.
So that's what hip hop was. Hip hop was the correction of the state of mind, the state of character, the
You
state
know,
of
I'm
poverty.
sorry to cut you. If money makes a man strange, we got to rearrange. That was De La Soul's line, but I used that for my second, the first part of my second verse for that the games people play. So
And we're going
yes,
to get into that song.
yes.
But being that hip hop was the correction of many wrongs, hip hop has now become the wrong because instead of being counterculture, it became worldwide culture. So you talked about the burden. What is the best thing about being an international artist?
Being an international, I mean, you know, I toured Japan oh, quite a lot of times. It's always fun just to, and like, you know, like just getting to know all kinds of peoples from all kinds of aspects of life. It just gives you depth in a way, you know. And you know, even with my Omen44, the 4-4 part, you know, it's culture freedom in described in the 5% perspective. And that that I do carry with me all the time. And I don't feel that as a bird, you know, but that's something. It's culture and freedom. It's culture, you know, me being a part and me being in the, you know, in these cross sections. That's that's culture itself. And I'm trying to translate that in my own way that I can that I can do, you know. And that's what my music is too. So I mean, being an international artist, yes, it's just beautiful seeing all kinds of people from all kinds of aspects. I mean, you know, this whole right wing MAGA movement kind of thing. I mean, xenophobia, you know, I there's you know there's certain things it's hard to understand even. Yes, there's a language barrier. Yes, there's certain cultural aspects that differs between people with religion, thinking, everything with writing. But if you see beyond that, you notice the truth is the same. Like even with religion, at the end of the day, they all talk about love. They all talk about God. They all talk about this feeling and goodness, you know, and discipline. So, you know, at the end of the day, you you will see something similar if you go into other people's culture. If you will see something similar if you go to other countries. And that's where you get gravitated to. But at the same time, that's where you can make your own sales point too.
All
So
right. So check this out. You got to take me to Japan with you then.
yes.
I want to go. No, I'm serious. I'm putting it out there. I'm putting the pressure on you. I want to go. No, I really do. I really want to see Japanese culture for hip hop because you just touched on something that I don't want to lose sight of. It's very important that we talk about this, but we're going to talk about that when we come back from this commercial break because you said something so dope. I really want to touch on that, and then we're going to go into your music because we've been hitting about the games people play and what your calling is. I want to talk about the beginning of the call and then how the music played through it. Is that okay with you? That's
The
okay.
beginning of the call.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. So, ladies
Okay.
and gentlemen, stay tuned because Omen44 was dropping Knowledge Yourself. And that's an essential part of hip hop that we don't talk about today. We'll be back after this. Stay tuned.
Where you get your hip hop from?
Yeah. What's up? This tribal trigger trench in the building. You already know. Nip, naughty.
Hey, Redman is in the building, of course. Jersey's finest, all about them bars, marijuana smoker. Hey, PSA announcement. I need everybody go support. That's right, support my fucking state, my city. Heritage Hip Hop, a New Jersey media source that celebrates New Jersey hip hop worldwide. Facts. Please subscribe to Heritage Hip Hop on social media. That is Heritage Hip Hop on social media.
What up, y'all, man? It's your boy Do It All, Do Pray Kelly, right here on Heritage Hip Hop, man. Look, man, let me tell you something. Make sure you support Heritage Hip Hop, because without these brothers bringing you hip hop, then we're not gonna stay informed, man, the way that we need to stay informed, man. And they're not just giving you hip hop, man. They're giving you the heritage of hip hop, right here, man. Yo, Kareb, I see you. Heritage Hip Hop, man. Let's do it.
It ain't nothing like heritage hip hop.
Welcome back to the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast. This is episode 245. We are in here with my man Omen44, international hip hop artist, and we're about to drop some jewels on y'all because I want y'all to focus on something that I'm gonna revisit something he said, and it's gonna be very important to the music he makes today. Omen, you're a 5%er, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How were you introduced to the 5% Nation of Gods and Earths, and what made you want to join?
It was actually the man that informed me about it at the beginning was AG from the DITC. Shout out to Android the Giant, yes, sir. And it, from there, he just gave me all these knowledges one by one, and I build it up from there. And from there, I got connected with certain people, and through Mecca and the Canadian branch, and I build it up from there. Yes.
That is something we don't see a lot in hip hop is 5%ers anymore. And then to see a 5%er who's from outside of the traditional culture of Black American, which is amazing to me because that just goes to show you that knowledge, wisdom, understanding goes around the board to all people, not just a segment that can be segregated by mainstream or hateful people. How has being a 5%er enlightened you, and how does it help you make your music?
It was just natural for me to come in like that. This is something strange to say even, but back when I was first introduced to hip hop, this was in my teen in Japan. The first Japanese rapper that I noticed was Stradarapa, that was featured on De La Soul's album. And my dad will buy these random CDs and just bring it back to me when I was a teen. And that was like, and he actually brought me a Jizza album. And that Jizza album started off from that intro with the line from The Lone Wolf and the Cub, the Shogun Assassin. It was, to me as a Japanese, like I couldn't understand where it was coming from. Why the hell is this Black American coming in with that Shogun Assassin line and then like rapping. And I was just fascinated by that. And like later on, once I came to Mecca and I like built it from there, you know, I needed to go through it. Okay, like MF Do, see Cypherpunk, you see that line. What the hell is this man saying? You know, he was talking about cops, but that was C Cypher Punk, which that P was different, but like still, he wanted to use that as a reference for cops, right? So like, I needed to know these. I needed to know what these people were talking about. When I came to Mecca first, you know, I wanted to be a New York rapper. I wanted to know what these people were totally saying. I wanted to rap like them. So like, it was just natural for me to, you know, Wu-Tang having all that kung fu and everything in it. That was just, they just came in from that 5% of knowledge and just grasped it immediately like that.
So let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
This is something I thought about, and if I'm wrong, teach me. Is 5% knowledge of God and earth similar to Asian philosophy?
Whoa.
Think about it.
But you know, this is what I noticed.
Yeah, tell me.
There's certain universal codes that hit and strike the same way. Okay, like there's this book called The Hidden Leaf. It's a book about samurais. In that book, they say before you make a big decision, breathe in and out 7 times. I don't know where that 7 comes from, but you know, as you know, the number 7 is God. It's the 7th alphabet. So, you know, things like this happen for some kind of reason. And you will see that similarity everywhere. Even with like with the Old Testament, with how David, you know, how there was these 2 prostitutes that was arguing over one baby. And David was telling them that, okay, then I'm going to split this kid in 2. And the moment he was trying to strike.
That was Solomon.
Yes, Solomon, my bad. Yes, you're right, Solomon. He let go of he gave it to the woman that, you know, released her hand, arm first.
Right. He gave it to the woman who wanted
like
the baby
that,
whole.
Exactly. Like that same kind of incident in 1500 in Japan. There was this there was this 2 ladies that was arguing over a little boy, and like the judge told those 2 to pull the kid, and whoever tugs in that kid to your side will get it. And he gave it to the mother, who released the boy's hand first. So like, you know, these are, I don't know if it's common knowledge or it's the universal fact.
So
I feel like, and yes, 5%er. I mean, similarities everywhere though. And I like okay, like in the way of Shinto, right? Shinto is like considered the most oldest religion in Japan. It relates with the emperor and all that. And the oldest book the book that's oldest out there in Japan is considered Kojiki, and it's in that book too. Shinto, the basics of the Shinto, they have this whole conscious of ubiquitousness, like you see God in everything, actually. And when the 5%ers say peace, God, you see the God in the others that shines and reflects yourself. So yes, I mean, I do see similarity there.
And that's what makes hip hop universal, is that we were able to rhyme about pain, and pain is universal. Everybody has an understanding of it. And with the new song you have out now, the games people play, correct? You
Yes, sir.
not only are talking about, it's not about an artist who's just rapping. You're really taking the world stage to talk about the things you're dissatisfied with in the world. Talk to me about why that song is important to you and why you're releasing it.
Some people would, myself, I consider myself as an independent. And there's this politician in Texas, Talarico, who talks about it's not about right or left, the Republicans against the Democrats, but it's the billionaires against us, the people. And I felt that way. And
That's it. You just felt
I
that
didn't
way?
want, it's not like I wanted to, it's not anger to me. This whole album is not anger to me. It was solid evidence. It was truth. It was about coming together and just with me, with my personal journey, it was about bringing hip hop back to what I was fascinated with. It's not just hip hop. It was reggae. I you know I saw this documentary movie back in the days with Bob Marley in it. The documentary was called Time Will Tell, and he brought up these two politicians on stage, and he made them shake hands, and he ended this conflict. And the moment he did that, he was shouting, "I'm going to put a little spell on you on the stage." And the next minute, that lightning struck with the sound. The sound doesn't come with it. Usually sounds come later on, or some kind of weird coincidence. And when you're seeing it from in front of the stage, it seems like it's hitting Bob Marley himself. It was just a divine intervention. And when I saw that, I cried. I couldn't stop crying. And that to me is the roots of my music.
Spiritual enlightenment.
Exactly. And this is the crazy part too. Lightning. The word lightning in Japanese is kaminari, which people back in the days wrote God cries. And that was kaminari. Nowadays they have a different writing for it, but back in the days they wrote it like that. So to me, it was just God crying. And I just saw that spirituality. I just saw that belief. I just saw that miracle happening in my own eyes.
That's
and that
amazing.
was
That's amazing. Go ahead, continue.
And me going back there and bringing it all back to that sensation, that feeling of salvation. That's where I wanted that's where I want to bring my music to.
I want to know as an artist that is hitting his stride to know what his message is, what do you want people to take away from your growth, not just to listen to your music?
I want them to feel, another thing is like, I'm going to make a mark with this album. And I'm an old man. It took me years to come here, years to build up my craft, years to be satisfied for my own self, even years to find out the right producer, even. And this is something, okay, yes, the AI is going to be quick. They'll produce you 100 songs within 30 minutes or something from now on. And all these record companies, yeah, they'll just generate it quick like that. They'll have a pretty boy, pretty girl on the track, boom, just, make them sing over it. But would it give the same feeling to it? Would it be lyrical? Would it have the message to it? I don't know. And that's what I want you to understand from what I'm rapping and singing.
I love it because I will say this. A man's journey is a lifelong thing. And sometimes I think people unfairly characterize somebody in their change and not in their journey. You feel what I'm saying? And it takes a journey for a person to understand a man. That's why it says about walking in someone's footsteps. That's not a one-time thing. That's an entire journey. I said before in this interview in the beginning, you rhyme with like Boot Camp, you rhyme with rusteejuxx, you rhyme with Planet Asia, Skyzoo. Shout out to all them. It's easy to throw their names out for credibility, but the credibility you have with me is being your individual self. What do you think is the most important song you've made to date? And tell me about the new album. Are you duplicating that song or upping that song on the new album?
No, this is a totally different approach, and it is fundamentally different. When you talked about dumbing down, this long journey of mine, 20 years, I had phases that I needed to push drugs just to make ends meet, really. So I regret that. But I came back from that. And I'm never going back there. And yes, I want, but at the time, I saw the beauty in that, even that drug rap, even because it was pure. It wasn't about these commercialized money-making music. It was about pure love to music. But looking back, but what saved me even from how I never got caught or anything is I feel like I was guided and that I was able to keep my discipline and I was able to follow my own rules. That's what we need in these days. We need rules. If you're a gangster and if you're not following this law, then you need rules. Like Biggie said, 10 crack commandments. You have to follow certain rules if you want to make it. Even the Italian mobs, they have their own 10 commandments. So, and this is the era that we're questioned for that morality, ethics, discipline.
Discipline is hard though, man, because discipline is the makings of a man or a woman, period. Because there's a time when you have to say no and it's going to hurt you and you got to stand on that no. And there's going to be a time when you would think that no will hurt someone's feelings, but you got to hurt them just for them to grow, and it pains you. What's the biggest growth you've been through in your career?
That's a good point. Just when you said it, you reminded me of my wife, even, actually. I hate to say this, but
How so?
I mean, right. It's just a daily thing. We have to go through it. It's humans, I mean, like even with your spouse or even with your kid, this is the closest stranger, actually. You have to learn from them. You have to grow with them. And that's what you have to bear from life. It's not easy at all. If there's, if there's somebody out there that wants money, that wants a pretty spouse or a wife, whatever that is, bro, you need that strength and energy and stability to live with that. That's the hard part. And like you said, it's about pain. The more you bear the pain, more you go through it, more the tribulation. It is God testing you. And as long as you don't die, as long as what was that word even? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I totally feel that way.
So, and all that's being said, what is the journey? What is the pain? And what is the process that made this new album coming? And how are you going to nurture it to make sure that it has the legs it needs to survive?
This was the 20 year of making. It took me 20 years to make it. I came up with the perfect balance. It has all kinds of aspects with the beats and the rhymes, scratching. It has all that combined in it. Rapping scheme. I done all kinds of stuff. I doubled it, spreaded it, poetry reading. I done everything. And it's filled with all of that. With me, with my music journey. Yes, from Last Poets to what is the recent stuff would it be? With all these Japanese songs even. I'm influenced by Japanese city pop too, even. Everything, And I know what I'm saying. And this album is going to be monumental because I squashed in this moment. As Prince has stated in his one of the songs, the forever, everlasting now. That exactly makes it what my album makes. That's where it shines.
Shout out to Japanese City Pop, Miki Matsubara, Stay With Me, classic. I love that song. Man, that's one of the ones for me. I want to congratulate you on, like I said, not only being, not surviving, but living, because making music is hard. And like I said, to go from one culture to another culture, learning the language, learning the cultural values, especially coming from a culture outside of what is probably one of the most hated cultures in the world is American, Black, everything. I just want to say thank you to you for taking the time to understand that even though we're not a monolith, we are a people that has great joy in living, and we have a great joy in giving the world our pain and our joy as well. And being a 5%er on top of that, that's a very spiritual journey that you took to feel, not just understand, but to feel. Um, it's been a pleasure having you on the show, man. Sorry I can't make you laugh. I'm a boring ass guy, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of information, but I love the music and I love touching the world. Is there anything that you would like to tell the people before we close this out?
You know, that part that when you said what benefited me as a international artist and made what what was hard for me was that, you know, I invested and I went in for that New York rap. I went in for American hip hop because that's what I love. I could have made maybe I shouldn't say it this way, but maybe I would have it would have been easy for me if I just tilted towards the Japanese rap and made money off of that. I didn't want to do that. And here I am. And I'm going to risk everything for this even. And I just want to pay homage to the heritage hip hop, sir, to the foundation, to the predecessors, the roots, the last poets, Gil Scott Heron, these people that started it, that builded it, that came out of real nothing. And that's where my thanks and love and all my soul goes to.
Yeah, thank you, man. Because guess what? I still want you to take me to Japan. I'm not playing with you. I'm being very honest. I want to go to Japan, and I like to go with you because you know what? I've been to many shows. I haven't seen you live yet, but I would love to see you live in Japan to see how they adapt to you being one of them, but adopting American culture into your set. That sounds provocative and interesting. Excuse me. Before we go, I really want to know about that. We're going to close this up. I want to close it up right. What is your reception like when you hit the stage in Japan? How do the crowd take to you when you could go from an American style to your homeland style, and you could do both at the same time, and it's probably crazy. So I would like to know, what is that like? How was the reception?
You know, it gets crazy sometimes. When we performed in me and Viking and Nips, shout out to Nips from the Buddha brand, and Agi and all of them, DJ Benny, we went out to Nagoya to perform for that Japanese album, 2517. It was crazy when we finished our set went out. There was some whatchamacallit, there was some riot going on, and there was some cops out there, and it got crazy for I don't know what reason, but it's just. But at the end of the day, everything calmed down. We were able to have it was. But just seeing people and talking to them and just and yeah, Japan's a crazy experience. Yeah, you need to come out. Let's bring you out.
I'm asking you to take me. I want to go. There's a dream I have. To be honest with you, and I'm putting out in the air, we putting out in the universe so God can lead me. I want to experience hip hop in other countries. I've been to Puerto Rico, which is dope. I've been to but I haven't seen a live show yet. I want to go experience a live show in Germany, Puerto Rico, Japan, China. I mean, with the government now, who knows if that'll happen? But those are the things I really would like to do: is experience hip hop culture, Amsterdam, all these Brazil, all these different places where there's tagging, there's graffiti, there's the real stories. I would love to do it, and your story is one of those main stories that I had to capture. You're one of my top interviews for the simple fact you helped me push my boundary on understanding hip hop from a different set of lenses, a different set of eyes, a different viewpoint. And I humble myself when I say thank you for telling your story. Thank you for coming on Heritage Hip Hop. No, I don't play music. No, I don't do freestyles. No, I don't do all that. I wanted people to connect with you and to understand you and respect you as a man first, to then respect and understand your music. So I have 3 last questions, and then we're gonna just let this thing ride out the way it's supposed to. And here's question number 1. What's the most important lesson in hip hop that you learned in music, through music, period?
Never judge the book by the cover, like P Rock said.
Okay. What's the most important lesson you learned? What? No, you know what? Not lesson. What's the most important experience you've had being a 5%er? My man, it's stuck.
Knowledge of self. Know the ledge. Knowledge. Like, it made me think about who I am and what I need to be and what I need to do to contribute. I can't be copying, and I'm my original man, and I have to do what is best for me. That will be the best for the world.
Okay.
That's what I learned from that word, knowledge of self. Know the ledge.
Okay. How has the lesson of hip hop and the lesson of the 5% Nation helped you create this new album? And what is the message you want people to take from it?
Music itself is the language of the universe. I want them to feel it, communicate with me, and once you hear the album, I'm quite sure you'll understand who I am and where I came from. And at the end of the day, love, hello, right, will come to the supreme understanding. I want to understand everybody. I want them to understand who I am. And that is us, the US, United States.
When does the album come out, and when can we look forward to it?
It will come out on the Labor Day this year, September 7th.
on the 7th as well. Labor in God. Check that out, y'all. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, because today reflects God, April 7th. And check out who's here, a 5%er on Heritage Hip Hop. Ain't that something? God is good. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
we make it happen on here. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to heritagehiphop.com. There you will find our merch link. Matter of fact, let's do something different. Hey, Omen, check this out. If people want to subscribe to Heritage Hip Hop, we can. We're on the road to 5,000. 5,000 subscribers. Me and my partners on the Mic Council, the Hello Effect Podcast, and DJ Kawan on YouTube. When we all three of us get 5,000 subscribers, we're going to send something to the people. If you'd like to help build Heritage Hip Hop, check out that line down there. Hit the like button, comment, share, and if you want to give some money, Cash App, $ Heritage Hip Hop, to make sure we doing our thing for you and for others. Let me see if I can find this other thing.
Kawan too, you know.
Kawan, my man, of course. Shout out to MJ Savino of MJ Hip Hop's Connects, who has set up this interview and many other of my great interviews that y'all have liked. Give her support. If you're looking for a publicist, check out MJ Savino, one of the best to do it, period. Let me see what else we're looking at. My brother, let's see what else we got up here. Oh, they took my stuff down. Oh, man. Hey, Omen, they took my stuff down. I can't put up my tag. So you know what? Everybody go to heritagehiphop.com. Subscribe to Heritage Hip Hop on all social medias. Check out my TeePublic store. Everything's in the description, and the links are in the description. Check it out. And check out Omen44.com for his music and everything he has out as well. My goal is not for you just to have a dope interview. It's also always to connect with the artist and get the best you can from them as well. If the music,
how many more people do you need for 5,000 though?
Oh, I'm almost halfway there. I'm at 26, I think.
Wow. You know,
so you get Japan to help me out. What's up?
Like we should make some kind of goal. So you know, I can send you some merches too that you can just give away or something.
Let's do it. I want it all. Yes. And I want you to take me to Japan because I really want to go. I'm very serious. I'm not playing with you. I'm being very humbly honest. I'm asking. You know what I'm saying? Yes, if you can help me get to the 5,000, also DJ Kawan and the Hello Effect, let's do it because we want to celebrate hip hop culture worldwide. And I thank you for coming on this show just to show everybody Heritage Hip Hop is not a one state thing, it's an international worldwide thing. And if you ever run into AG again, tell him I want to interview him on the show. We talked before, but the Japan time thing was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But everybody, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, go ahead. What you about to say?
No, he has a Japanese too.
Okay.
AG from the DRTC.
Yeah. Shout out to
and his daughter's name is Bronx too, actually.
That's cool. See, he's got a daughter named Bronx.
Yeah, it is.
That's cool. Look, y'all, thank y'all for joining us tonight. It's late. I gotta go to work tomorrow and I ain't even eat. So may the Most High bless you. Peace. And we're out.
Thank you and good night. We are Heritage Hip Hop. Real hip hop. Real hip hop. We here. Real hip hop. For real. Real